And just take a moment to get your sit bones well planted, even out your weight on both sit bones, and then even out your weight on both feet. Give your toes a little wiggle, and then see if you can stretch your toes out and then plant them. And rather than gripping, see if you can press down through the pads of those toes. And then bring those shoulders over your hips and maybe close your eyes and just breathing here. These first moments of practice, making that transition to a bit more inward focus, noticing a bit more your own body, any sensations in that body. And then, of course, noticing your breath happening. And then finding a bit more agency over that breath. So on that layer of involuntary action that keeps us alive, breath keeps going even though we are not thinking about it. Add a layer of voluntary action, so you might make that breath a bit deeper, you might make it a bit longer. You might slow down the rhythm or the pace. You might even take some small short pauses between inhale and exhale. And then between exhale and inhale. And see if you can breathe a bit more through the nose. And taking advantage of the stretch, the expansion that happens as you breathe in. So stretch through your torso, the ribs. And then take advantage of the contraction that happens as you breathe out. So feel those ribs draw towards one another and feel the belly draw towards the spine. And a few more cycles, just like that. And take another breath in. And then on your exhale, drop the chin towards your chest and find some space in the back of your neck. Draw your shoulder blades towards one another and then down towards your back ribs. Breathing in. And then on your exhale, send your right ear towards your right shoulder. Breath in here. And then exhale, bring the chin back to the chest. So as you move the neck, try not to move the rest of the body too much. Take a breath in here. And then go to the other side, left ear, left shoulder. Breath in. And bring the chin back to the chest. Let's do it one more time each side. Go there with your own breath. Feel that stretch through the left side of your neck. And then bring yourself back through center and then take it to the other side. So now the stretch happens in the right side of your neck. We'll meet back at center, chin towards your chest. Find a breath in. Find a breath out. And then gently lift your gaze, look forward, open eyes as they were still closed, and reach your arms wide. Palms are facing forward and squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another. And then as you exhale, bring your arms in front of you. Maybe your palms will touch. Let's do that again. Open up, inhale, find space in your chest. Exhale, arms forward. One more time, just like that. Breath in, open. And breath out, bring them forward. Here, interlace those fingers, turn your palms away from you and give yourself a stretch. So back, body back, round your spine. Send that chin towards your chest. Feel that stretch through your fingers too, your palms. Breathe in and breathe out. Now as you inhale, let's lift those arms towards the ceiling, lengthen your spine up, and then on your exhale, left arm down, coming into a side stretch. Turn your right palm over. Inhale, return, center, arms lift, and then take it over to the other side. Right arm down, left side gets a stretch. Coming back through center, inhale, and now find the opposite interlace of your fingers, turn your palms, and again find a stretch here through those hands, breathing in. And then as you exhale, arms forward, and once again round your spine, push that back body back, chin towards your chest. With your next inhale, straighten your spine, release your hands, reach them out and behind you, and then hold on to the back of your chair or find the opposite hand as you send that chest forward. Breathe in and breathe out. So a stretch through the fronts of your shoulders. Maybe you feel it in your rib cage too. And then with your next inhale, release those hands, reach your arms once again towards the ceiling, and right arm down, side stretch. Coming back through center, inhale, and then finding the other side as you exhale. Back through center, inhale, and then on your exhale, arms wide, and just lower them down by your side. Take a moment here, relax those shoulders, maybe give them a little roll. And then bring hands to rest on your thighs. And with your next inhale, lift your heels. And as you exhale, lower heels. And now your challenge here is to lower heels as if there was something that you were pressing down. So first lift, inhale. And then push down through those heels as if there was some resistance. Lower them. Feel your glutes and thighs engaged. Again, lift, inhale. And push down through those heels, exhale, nice job. With your next inhale, lift, and now only lower your right heel. So we're staying on the toes or the ball of the left foot, and you might draw that foot in slightly. We're going to just rotate here. So rotate through that left hip, and that will result in the knee moving in circles, but there's really no movement coming from that knee. And then also you'll get a bit of a kind of stretch through your toes, your ankle, and then switch direction. And the next time that your knee comes back through center, see if you can send your left foot under your chair any amount. So we're getting a stretch through the top of the foot like this. So your left knee is still pointing forward and your left toes are pointing down and even back behind you. Give a little push through the top of that left foot. Breathe in. Don't overdo it though. Breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. And then from here, come onto the left heel and slide that left heel forward, extending your left leg. Toes are drawing towards your shin, and if you need to scoot forward on your chair, do so. Reach your arms overhead, inhale. And on your exhale, bring your hands to your hips and find that hinge through your hips. Chest goes forward and down. Breath in and breath out. So see if you can feel some action through your left leg. Push through that left heel and draw your toes in just a little bit more actively. Lengthen the spine at the same time. Push through your fingers. If you've got them at your hip creases, push those hip creases back and down. Maybe your elbows lift slightly as if you had like chicken wings. You lift them up towards the ceiling. So you're keeping your chest open. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice job. On your inhale, we are rising back up. Reach your arms overhead. And now as you exhale, right hand behind us, we're finding a twist. Left hand crosses over. Now see if you can stay in your twist with your torso. So you're not changing from the shoulders down. You stay rotated. And now we're just going to add some rotation to the neck. So take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, turn your gaze towards the right shoulder or towards the right side. Take a breath in, breath out. And now bring your gaze back through center and then take it over the left shoulder. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice job. And then bring your gaze back through center in the same direction as your chest. And then bring your torso through center. Reach your arms overhead. Inhale. And then as you exhale, lower your arms down. Bring your left heel in and come back into your seat. Take an inhale. Bring the shoulders up by your ears. Exhale. Release them down. Do that again. Bring them up. And release them down. Exhale. All right, let's do the other side. So when you're ready, lift your heels. And now just lower your left heel. Now you're on the ball of that right foot, on your toes. Maybe bring them in and begin to find your rotation here through that right hip. And again, see if you can get also some stretch, some almost like a bit of a massage on those right toes. And then switch direction. Remember your breath here. And then the next time that your knee comes back through center, pause there. You're on the ball of the foot on the toes. See if you can come a bit more onto your toes and then slide those toes any amount behind you. So toes are trying to point towards the space behind you. Maybe the foot comes under the chair and you can give a little push through the top of that right foot. Again, keep your knee pointing forward so it's still aligned with your hip. It's not flailing out. Take a full breath in. And take a full breath out. Nice job. And then from here, come onto that right heel and extend that right leg all the way out in front of you. Toes are drawing towards your shin. Give a little push through that right heel and reach your arms up. Inhale. On your exhale, your hands come to your hips. And once again, we're folding forward. Remember, we're saying forward, and we've got to go forward first and then the fold. If you fold right away, you'll just round your spine. And you're just emphasizing things that we do by default. And one of the things that we try to do in yoga is we try to bring awareness to what we do like automatically or by default happens. And then we challenge those or we balance those things out. So again, that neutral spine, that action through your right leg, give a little extra push through that right heel. Send your elbows maybe behind you or up. One more breath in. And one more breath out. And then as you inhale, let's rise up. Let's reach those arms overhead. And we'll find a twist towards the left side. Left hand behind us, right hand crosses over. So trying not to change the legs here. And then once you've got your torso in the twist, we'll add a bit more with the neck. So full breath in, lengthening up. And then on your exhale, send your gaze over the left shoulder. Breathe here. And then use your next inhale to bring your gaze through center. And then we'll send the gaze over the right shoulder, trying not to change anything else in your posture. Breath in. And breath out. Nice. With your next inhale, gaze comes back through center, and then the whole spine comes back through center. Reach your arms overhead, lengthening up, and then as you exhale, lower those arms down, and let's bring that right heel or right foot in. Come back to your usual seat, initial seat. Hands rest on the thighs, bring the shoulders up by the ears, squeeze them in, and then on your exhale, just drop your right shoulder. And then inhale, lift that right shoulder. Nice. Exhale, left shoulder lowers. And then again, lift. Right shoulder lowers. And lift. Last one, left shoulder will lower. Both shoulders will lift. And then release them all the way down. Reach your arms up once again. Interlace your fingers overhead. Bend your elbows and bring the hands to the back of your head. Base of your skull, a comfortable place. And then rest your head into your hands. Open up through those elbows. Notice that space in your chest. And then on your exhale, we're going to round. Bring the elbows forward, chin to chest. Any amount of rounding through that back body that feels good to you. And let's open again. Breath in. And we'll round breath out. And we'll open. Inhale. And last one. And round. Exhale. Now with your next inhale, we'll open, reach your arms up, and on your exhale, arms out and all the way down. Again, hands can rest on your thighs. We're going to open up those knees, those feet. So heel to toe, your feet out and wide. And then heel to toe, your feet back in. And then take them out. Nice. And bring them back. And one more time, take them out. And bring them back. This time we're going to take them out and stay there. So see if you can give your knees a little extra pull back. See if you can align those ankles and knees, and then point your knees or point your toes in the same direction as the center of your knees. Hands are coming onto your thighs, thumb inside, fingers outside, lengthen spine, breathe in. On your exhale, left shoulder goes forward and down. Notice this scissor action with your shoulder. So as your left shoulder goes forward, your right shoulder goes back a bit. And then you folding over that right thigh. Push that left thigh away. And see if you can feel that stretch through the left side of your waist. Left side of that lower back. And of course, a stretch through the inner left thigh. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice job. And then come back through center. Inhale. And let's take it over to the other side. Same thing. Right shoulder comes forward. That left shoulder goes back. And then fold and push that right thigh away. Remember about lengthening spine here. So every time that you breathe in, the crown of the head moves away from that tailbone. Every time that you breathe out, you draw belly to spine. Maybe you soften something. Another breath in. And another breath out. Coming back through center. Inhale. We'll do it one more time each side, but just for a breath, going over towards the right. Exhale. And then coming back through center, inhale. And left side, exhale. Back through center, inhale, and now reach your arms tall. And on your exhale, bend your elbows. Let's find 90-degree angles here with the elbows, with the shoulders. And then let's open up that chest, so draw those elbows back. And then on the exhale, bring those elbows forward. 2 more times, open. Exhale, forward. And last one, open. And bringing them forward. Reach your arms tall, breath in. And then as you exhale, lower your arms all the way down. Heel to toe, your feet back to hip width. And just take a moment here. Relax the shoulders, relax those legs, maybe a little wiggle through your toes. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then let's bring that right knee in towards the chest. Your hands could come around your shin. And as you squeeze that knee in, see if you can grow a bit taller through your spine. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. Nice. And then just add a little movement through your ankle. And the other direction. And then pause with that ankle and let's take it to the hip. So some hip rotations. You might transfer your hands to the back of the thigh, or one hand holding the right leg, the other one resting on your left thigh. And then switching direction. And then from here, bring that knee back through center. And then on your exhale, we're going to go straight into a figure 4, crossing that right ankle just over that left thigh or anywhere down that left leg. So if you need to, extend your left leg out and you could cross your ankle at your shin or at the opposite ankle. Either way, your right knee is moving away from you. Okay. So you've got external rotation happening in your right hip. And then with your next inhale, lengthen spine. You can keep your hands at your waist. And as you exhale, if you need it, if you need a little extra stretch through that outer right hip, you might fold forward and down. Notice that if you just round your spine, you might not change any of the sensation in that right hip. You might even make it a bit less, which sometimes is a good thing. But anyway, I shouldn't have told you that. So we kind of look for a little bit more sensation, don't we? Breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. And then coming back up, if you were folded, reach your arms overhead. We're going for a twist again. So that left hand is going to come behind us and the right hand is going to cross. Maybe you get to the right foot or maybe to that left thigh. Whatever you hold on to with your right hand, add some resistance. So don't only pull on it, but then push back into that hand. Breathe in and breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. Coming back through center, breathing in, maybe your arms lift. And then as you exhale, release those arms down. We're going into eagle leg. So right thigh is going to cross over the left thigh. And then that right foot is going to draw towards that left leg. Open up your arms, inhale. And on your exhale, right arm under the left, cross at your elbows, see if you can stack them. And then you might bring hands to your shoulders. You might lift your forearms. Remember, keep your elbows stacked. So again, if the elbows become loose when you lift your forearms, just come back to holding onto your shoulders. See if you can feel that stretch through upper back, around those shoulder blades, the back of the neck. And see if you can feel the constriction in the chest. Take another breath. And then on your inhale, release those arms. You can reach them up. And as you exhale, arms down by your side and unwind your legs and come back into your seat. We'll do all of that on the left side. So when you're ready, bring your left knee in. Take a moment here. So as you hug your left knee in, again, hands behind thigh or around shin, whatever works here, think about lifting up. So you're not bringing the chest towards the thigh, you're trying to lengthen up through your spine. So finding space between vertebrae. And then add some movement through that left ankle. Both directions. And then find the flexion in the foot, and we'll take it to that left hip rotation here. And then switch direction. See what amount of range is available here today. Work with what you've got. And then bring that knee back through center. And then from here, take it into your figure 4. Cross that left ankle over that right leg, thigh, shin. See what's available. Toes are drawing towards the shin. Remember, left knee is going away from you, but there shouldn't be any pain in that left knee. Lengthen through the spine. Hands can come to your hips. And then as you exhale, you might send your chest forward and down. Once again, when you fold, when you hinge from the hip, you're stretching more through that left glute, outer hip, so it gives you a bit more sensation, more stretch on that side. If you don't do the hinge at the hip and you just round your spine, then the hip is not really affected, so it doesn't really change that much any of the sensation of the stretch. Another breath in. And another breath out. Rising up, inhale, maybe your arms lift. And then on your exhale, arms, we're coming into a twist. Right hand behind us, left hand crosses over. Okay. Foot, thigh, see what's available. And then again, add some resistance. So you're not using just that grip of your hand on the foot or thigh to pull. You're also pushing through that foot or thigh back into your hand. So you'll notice action happening through those legs. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Return through center. Arms can lift. Inhale. And then on your exhale, arms lower. Left thigh comes over the right. Eagle legs. Internal rotation happening through those thighs. Now that left foot towards your right leg. Open up your arms. Open up that chest. And then as you exhale, left arm is now coming under the right. Try to stack your elbows and then find the bend in the elbows. The hands to the shoulders. Maybe the forearms lift. Just see what's available. Keep that stretch in the upper back. Keep that constriction in your chest. Nice job. Breath in. Breath out. One more inhale. And exhale. Unwinding those arms. Inhale, maybe reaching them up. And then as we exhale, let's lower those arms down and then unwind your legs and come back to your seat. All right, I told you it was like a leggy practice today, right? So we're going to get up now and we'll do some things using the seat of the chair. So first of all, let's rise up and down. Let's do it 3 times. Make sure that you find as much control in the micro movements as you can. So try not to like do any big jolts, or notice if that's happening, and then working on, minimizing that is, it will be your challenge, And we've got plenty of time to work on those things. So we keep doing these things every class. When you're ready, arms come forward, bring the weight into those feet, lighten up on those sit bones, lift them off your chair, and then as you exhale, gently, slowly lower those sit bones back to your chair. Nice job. Strong legs here. Again, come forward and lift. And moving back to lower. Yeah, nice. And one more time, just like that, coming forward. Lift. And exhale. And lower. This time we're going to come up and we're going to stay lifted, but keep that bend in your knees. See if you can reach your arms overhead. Pause here. Maybe you can bend into those knees a little bit more. Breathing in. Breathing out. Nice job. And then push the floor away. Straighten your legs. Reach your arms tall. And then on your exhale, bring your right arm down, coming into a standing side stretch. Reaching up and over with the left. Returning through center. Inhale. And then to your other side as you exhale. And return through center. And then open those arms out. Take as much space as you can as you lower those arms down by your side. All right, so we're going to use the seat of the chair, and we're going to, our starting posture will be a table pose, and then we'll do some things from there. Okay, so in your table pose, your hands are more or less under your shoulders, your feet, your ankles, your knees, and your hips are more or less in line. And then before we do anything else, we want to find a strong table. So strong through that upper body. So think here about sending your sit bones back and slightly up. And then for that, you might find a micro bend in your knees. Okay, so don't be afraid to find that bend. And then once you've got that sacrum more or less flat or flattish, draw belly to spine. That will also help neutralize lower back. And then coming to your upper body or upper back, think about left shoulder blade going left and right shoulder blade going right. And you'll notice broadening through upper back, and then some space also through your chest. Okay? Your arms will be pushing, so there's some pushing action through those hands. Okay, and this is your neutral table pose. Okay, and you can come back to this at any time. It's quite a bit of work already here, so this can be a good place to stay or to come back to. All right, so we're going to work first with the lifting the left leg. So you might scoot your right foot a little closer to your left first, so it's a bit more central, and then your left leg will lift. And then don't worry about how high you lift it, but keep your hips pointing down. Okay, so you're not opening your hip and you're not sending your hip away from you. So keep your hip tucked in towards the waist. Okay. Breath in, keep that leg lifted. Notice that your left glute and hamstring having to do some work here. And then on your exhale, just lower that left foot back down. Come back to your table pose, check in with that upper back, those arms, and then when you're ready, do the same thing with the other side. So left foot close to the right is your standing leg, and now your right leg is going to lift. And again, we're trying to keep the hips level, so the only thing here that's happening is that we're lifting that right leg, but nothing else changes. Breathe in, flex through that right ankle so that the leg is active. Breathe out, stay. Another breath in. And then on your exhale, right foot will lower. Okay. Now, same thing. Now we're switching legs and we're going to add something to this. Inhale, the left leg will rise. Now you're going to keep this structure, and the only thing that you're going to work on is bending and straightening the standing leg. Okay. So bend into your right knee. Notice what happens. You might need to bend your elbows too. And then straighten that right knee. And then again, bend. Try not to change anything else. And straighten. And one more time, bend. And straighten. Nice job. From here, lower that left foot. Come back into that table pose. We're going to switch one more time now. Right leg rises. Your standing leg is your left, and that's the knee that's going to bend and straighten. We're not changing much else, just the elbows will bend because the whole structure will lower. So take a breath in. Exhale, bend into that left knee. Inhale, straighten. As you straighten, push the floor away. Bend. Straighten, so really strengthening that left leg. And bend. And straighten, push the floor away. Lower that right leg, coming back into your table pose. Bring your hands to your hips, and then slowly with your chin tucked to your chest, roll the spine up, come up to standing. Once you get to stand, arms by your side, give your shoulders a roll. And then let's bring the hands together, interlace your fingers and find some rolls through your wrists. And then one more thing with the wrist. Release, and then see if you can bring your fingers to point down and then the tops of the hands to touch there in front of you. Okay, elbows bent there, nice. And then just send the fingers towards your chest and then away from your chest. So that movement, there you go, nice job. And a few times just like that. There you go. So just rotating through the wrists. And then release. Okay, so coming back to that table pose, we're going to do something a little different, but again, it's about lifting the leg and finding some movement there. So coming back to hands on the seat of the chair, find your alignment. Remember about your active table pose here. Okay, neutral spine as best you can, belly towards the spine. And then the leg that's going to be grounded now is your right, so you might bring it a bit more central, a bit closer to the left, and then when you're ready, left leg will rise. Okay. Now from here, on your exhale, we're going to send that left leg towards the right. So we're going to cross it behind the right and then see if you can tap the floor to the right side. There you go, nice. And we're going to try and do this with the knee extended the whole time. So now bring that leg back through center, straight out behind you, and then bring it towards the left side and tap. Okay, so these kind of semicircles, right? So again, send that left leg back up and then cross it over, tap on the right side, and then bring it back up. See if you can slow down this movement, so you've really got to control the movement, and then tap on the left side. Okay, try to do this without moving your torso too much. Okay, so it's just about the leg, and it's not about how big those circles or half circles are, but keep the rest of the posture pretty stable, not much change in the rest of the body. And again, going over to the right, and then over to the left. Nice job. Let's do it one more time. Breath in, take it back, over to the right, and breath in, take it back and over to the left. Nice job. And then we'll bring it back and then return to your table pose. Now in your table pose, let's just take a few cows and cats. Drop the belly, bring the chest forward, inhale, round your spine, push the chair away, exhale. 2 more, inhale, exhale. And last one, breath in and breath out. And now find again your table pose, neutral spine, and we'll do those movements now on your other side. So grounding or standing leg is going to be your left. So you might bring it a bit more central for stability. And then as you're ready, right leg is going to come out behind you. And then we're finding those circles, okay? We'll start sending first that right foot over towards the left side so it crosses underneath you, and you might tap the floor with your toes. And then bring it back behind you, and then bring it out to the right side and tap the floor. And again, take it back, breath in. Cross it over, breath out. Take it back, breath in. Over to the right side, breath out. Again, let's do 3 more. Your own breath, so make sure that you're breathing as you do this. Slow down the movement for a bit more challenge, a bit more control. And last one. And then bring that leg back through center, and then lower that right foot all the way down to the ground. Nice job. Bring your hands to your hips, and once again, nice bend in your knees here, chin to your chest, and slowly unroll your spine. When your spine is lifted, straighten those legs and lift your head. Let your arms rest by your side. Wiggle your fingers, give your shoulders a roll. And then from here, we're going to make our way down onto the ground. So you can move the chair out of the way. And we'll meet in a seated position with the legs out in front of us. No rush getting there, so take your time. Make sure you get there safely, comfortably. If you need like pillows or extra blankets or support or cushioning, make sure you've got it. Now we're just going to meet with the feet planted wide and the knees wide, knees bent. Okay. Eventually you'll find yourself there with your hands around your shins, and we'll just do some seated cows and cats. So again, no rush to get there. When you get there, chest comes forward, gaze lifts. See if you can feel those shoulder blades come a bit closer. And then as you exhale, round your spine, chin towards the chest, and a few more times like that with your own breath. Inhale, exhale. and inhale and exhale. And one more time, breath in and a breath out. Now with your next inhale, find a neutral spine. Bring your hands to your outer hips or behind you. Maybe make fists if the wrists are a bit tired. And then just bring the soles of the feet together. Knees are going to go wide and out. And then we'll find a bit of movement here. So kind of like butterfly legs. So use your arms to prop your spine up. Allow your chest to open and the crown of the head to lift. And then from here, just begin to bounce through those legs, through those knees. And then begin to bring your knees a little higher. See if you can do a bit more with that flexion and that contraction through inner thighs. So rather than just rely on the bounce effect, see if you can find a bit more activity through inner thighs, drawing those knees up. There you go, nice job. Let's do one more, bring those knees in, and then take them out. And now just allow the legs to relax, so those knees to just drop wherever they go. Breathe in and breathe out. One more inhale and exhale. All right, so from here, we're going to keep that left heel where it is, and we're going to send that right leg out to the side. So see if you can find some opening. So rather than the leg going straight out in front of you, it's going out. So there's that opening happening, okay? And then see if you can bring your left heel, this might be available, a bit closer to your right thigh, if it's comfortable. Option here, so if your left knee is kind of not feeling that great, or your left hip, if you've got your block or a pillow, you could just rest that left thigh on that block or a pillow. Okay, so for some of us, it gets to the floor and it's supported on the floor, but if that's not happening, bring the floor a bit higher. Right leg is going to stay active, so those toes are drawing towards your shin. Okay, and then see if you can prop your spine up a bit more. So now rather than leaning back, push through those hands and send your chest forward. So a bit more flexion through your hips. See what's available here. We're going to pause, breathing in and breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. Now we're going to add something. So the left hand, see if you can bring it over. So it comes out in front of your left foot, or you might be able to bring it to your right thigh. Your right hand might slide back a bit more. So you're coming into a twist towards that long leg. Just like in our seated twist, you're not forcing it. So don't let your shoulders begin to cram up towards your ears. Allow that spine to stay lifted. Breathing in and breathing out. Nice job. Bring yourself back through center and then switch your legs. So switch your legs. See if you can do it without using your hands. So you might send your weight back a bit. Bend your right knee. Lengthen your left leg out. And see if you can bring your right heel in towards that left thigh. And again, that block, that pillow to support that right leg might be a good idea. Once again, hands can come behind you and then give yourself a push forward. Okay. Use those arms to flex a bit more through your hips, to open through that chest, and then keep your left leg active. So notice those toes are still drawing actively towards your shin, and you're pushing down through that left heel. Let's take 3 cycles of breath right here. Breathing in. Breathing out. Another inhale and another exhale. One more. Breath in and breath out. Nice job. And then from here, your left hand can go a little further behind you, and then your right hand is going to come over. So maybe it plants in front of that right foot, and you work here into that twist. Maybe that arm goes a little further, but don't let it go over if that means that your spine rounds, okay? So it might be a case that you're better off with your hand at your right foot rather than taking it over your thigh, because that might mean then that it pulls that right shoulder over, and then you're going to find not only the twist, but you're going to confound it with a rounding of the spine. And right now we're not trying to do that. Breathing in and breathing out. One more breath. And then returning through center. Hands can come again behind you. Send your chest slightly back. And then bending into both knees and planting both feet on the ground. We're coming down onto the back body. So feet come hip width. Maybe you come onto your side and roll over. Or maybe you reach your arms up and you control the descent here with the strength through the core, as well as the strength through your legs. Press down through your feet. Breathe in, and slowly on your exhale, lower all the way down. Head will be the last thing to land. And then once you've landed, I've got an airplane theme going on. Once you've landed, bring those knees into your chest and roll a bit from side to side. So make some tweaks here to that back body, especially the neck. See if you can lengthen it just a bit more, meaning back of the neck. So chin slightly towards the chest. Slide the back of the head just a little further back. And if you were finding some movement, now find some stillness. And we're going to go into a happy baby. So those knees are going to go wide. Here you're taking them towards your armpits. Left knee towards the left armpit, right knee towards the right armpit. And as you do that, your hands could be on your knees or behind your knees. Your heels are floppy towards the glutes. And you're trying to get that back body really grounded. So that tailbone is not lifting, or that sacrum is not lifting. Try to flatten it down onto the mat. That lower back is also on the mat. And it's broadening. So think about that lower back kind of expanding from side to side. Those back ribs are also well grounded. That upper back, those shoulder blades, also think about them expanding out. And then think about pressing through the top part of your shoulder blades. So those shoulders, the fronts of the shoulders will open a little bit more. Notice where your chin is at and slightly tuck it towards the chest. Pause for a breath in. And pause for a breath out. You could stay with your heels grounded, or your heels heavy towards glutes, or if you can keep this back body grounded, you might lift your feet towards the ceiling, your hands behind your knees, and you're still drawing your knees towards your armpits. Again, just notice if lifting those feet, lift the sacrum, lower the feet so that you can still find that neutral back body. You're not adding any rounding right now. Breath in and breath out. One more inhale and exhale. And then releasing whatever you have here with that happy baby. And then planting your feet wide with your knees bent and just letting your knees rest against one another. Slightly pigeon toe your feet. And then bring hands to rest on your belly. Take a full breath in. And a full breath out. We're making our way into stillness. So check in, see if there's any other movement that would benefit you that you might want to explore. And we'll use about 10 to 15 breaths to do anything that we need to in order to then settle into stillness. So it doesn't have to be any big movement. It doesn't have to be anything with a name. You don't even have to think about it or have a plan. Just give yourself some space and some time to see if anything comes up. And then in no rush, eventually, let's move into stillness. And for that, make yourself comfortable. So if you need any pillows, any blankets, any extra props, make sure you find those. And then once you arrive in the position in which you're going to spend the next few minutes, you might take an open mouth exhale. And you might signal that transition to not only that physical body, relaxing any muscles that might still be active, engaged, tense, but also signaling to the mind that it is time to quiet down and just be. And, we can aim for things, but it doesn't mean they're going to happen. So the mind might go along and calm down, or it might get busier. But what you can do is, rather than engage in it or try to force things to be a certain way, you might just witness and see what is there and what it's like. Not needing to change anything right now or to make anything else happen. For just a few minutes, really, there is nothing to do. So just see what that might be like. And then as always, if you'd rather, or you want to stay for a bit longer in this restful place, feel free to do that. If you're ready to move, we can do it together. Engaging the breath and then just finding gentle movement in your body. Whatever that movement is for you at this point, taking your time. Maybe giving the whole body a stretch if that feels good. And then you could roll onto your side. And then before you lift up, take a full breath in. And take a long breath out. And then let's rise up and we'll meet comfortable seat, ending practice together. Find that lifted spine, relaxed face, maybe your hands come to your heart. And let's take a moment acknowledging the practice, acknowledging ourselves for practicing today, acknowledging those who practice with us at any time, and then all those who make it possible. And we'll end with a word that means that the light in me recognizes and honors the light in you. Namaste.